Hey, what's up, my people? To all you amazing educators and teachers and counselors and superintendents and principals and APs, thank you for what you do. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Next Level Teaching, episode 2. Let's get it. Okay, first question is coming from Melissa. Melissa, what you got?
Hi Jeremy, I'm Melissa from Lincoln ASP, and my question to you is, how can I help one of my students fit in with their peers?
Good question. That was a good question. How can I help my students fit in with more of their peers? I'll say this here. I'm not sure if you should be trying to help your students fit in. If that makes any sense. Like, I feel what you're saying. You want your student to be accepted. You want your student to be able to get along. But the reality is, we are not born to fit in. We are born to stand out. So if anything, I would challenge you to speak life and affirm that student. I don't want that student to have to try to conform to be accepted. So I feel where you're going, Melissa. I would probably say to change that student's mindset shift. You let that student know they are already good enough. You let that student know you're already amazing. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You let that student know you cool just how you are. And if anything, if the school wants to be cool, they will accept you for who you are. That's what I would challenge you to do. And then when that student is able to walk in it, and that student is able to own it, that student will have a certain sense or a certain level of confidence, and that is something that people are attracted to. People are attracted to confidence. So I want to see that student walk in his or her own territory, be who they're supposed to be, and I believe that all that positive energy will be drawn to them. But what we don't want to do is have students conform just to try to fit in. So I want these students to be exactly how they were created to be, and to have that sense of themselves as opposed to trying to put on like a mask to be accepted. So I see what you're saying, and I get it. Because if my daughter, she's a kindergartner, and my daughter's telling me now, she only 5, Daddy, what if they don't like me? What if I gotta do this? And I'm like, boo-boo, you do you. You do you. You like you. And if you like you, they will like you. So that's my advice to you. You're amazing. Question number 2, what you got?
Good morning. My name is Dr. Malik Douglas, the proud principal of Flat Rock Elementary School, located in Lithonia, Georgia. My question is, what are some unintentional things that educators do that may contribute negatively to the learning environment?
That's a good one, Dr. Malik Douglas. That's a good one. I would probably say this, Doc, because my like the Matrix, I got all these different things sometimes that teachers unintentionally do that can create a negative environment. I'll say this. I think sometimes for the sake of trying to get control or trying to check students, a lot of time they break students. You feel me? Like, I'm working on this new book, and one of the chapters in it is I talk about how it's easy to break a student down, but it's hard to build them up. So I've seen firsthand in classrooms from schools I've been working with where the teacher wants to prove a point or wants to check a student, and they end up embarrassing that student, and then it's hard to come back from that because now the whole class laughing, and the teacher wasn't trying to do it. The teacher was just trying to take control and put the student in their place, and now the student feel dumb, and now the student going to either clap back or show more disrespect. So I would just always say, and as most educators should know, you affirm in public, but you chastise, you challenge, you prune them in private. I think it comes the same thing when it comes to what's happening in the classroom with the curriculum and trying to teach. There's a time where you need to be able to put your foot down, but there's also a time where you got to be able to affirm them, but also have that balance where you're not embarrassing them and now they feel mad, they want to clap back. And so that's what I would say. It's a lot of different things, and I'm sure we'll have more questions. We'll touch more on that. But a lot of times educators end up making an unintentional negative climate in the classroom when they're trying to go back and forth. Do what Michelle Obama said. Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high. So when you have students go low, you don't go low with them. You don't meet them on that level. You ignore that. You put your energy towards all those other students in the classroom who came ready to learn. You go high, and in private, you deal with that student. All right, thanks for your leadership, Dr. Malik, and we will see you real soon. All right, next question. Question number 3. Let's get it.
Hi, Jeremy. My name is Erica Gilzine. I teach at Tucker Middle School. And my question is, how do you get parents to be more involved, especially the parents who seem to be unconcerned with their child's school progress?
Yeah, really, really, really good question. I'll say this here. When it comes to getting parents to be more concerned or involved, you really want a partnership. So the schools I've been working with, I'm training the teachers on how to build relationships early on. A lot of times what happens is the school year opens up, the kids come, and after a month, you calling Miss Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Or Miss Alvarez, or Miss Smith, or you saying, hey, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, I'm having some issues with Brian. That shouldn't be your first time speaking with them. So what I would challenge you and every other educator to do is when you got your class and you got all 20, 25, or 30 students, you see, okay, it's been a week, I'm having problems with these 5 or 6. You send their parents an email or a phone call and you just say, hey, Miss Anderson, listen, I just wanted to let you know I'm Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. Listen to me, your son, your daughter has so much potential, and I want you to know that I am dedicated to their success this school year. Their guard is let down. And then you follow it up and say, hey, you know, do you mind if I stay in touch with you? Kind of let you know some of the highs and lows, like if there are some things I see that's concerning, can I communicate that with you? That way we can work together to make sure that your son or daughter has a phenomenal school year. Now, that parent is like, okay, bet, for sure, bring it on. And now when you come and you say, hey, this was a great week, or hey, we struggled here this week, now they can fight on that end. But I've seen far too many situations where the parents are fighting the teachers. And you know what frustrates me about that? I be wanting to tell some of these parents, you know your kid's crazy. They crazy with you, right? Some of y'all feeling me like, they crazy at home. You think they turn into saints when they come to school? They disrespectful to you. You think they all of a sudden gonna respect me? But for whatever reason, parents be having amnesia and they make it seem like they babies is angels, but we know the truth. But here's the reality. For that healing to really take place, for us to really be able to connect with that student, we're gonna need that parent's help. And sometimes when you give those parents some bad news, they can start to feel like it's a shot at them. A strike at their character, like maybe they've done wrong or they failed as a parent. So it's important early on that you say, hey, I'm committed to helping you grow, to helping your son have a phenomenal year, and I want to just keep the lines of communication open so that we can work together and form a partnership because we're a team. And I think if you handle that head on, you're gonna start having parents who are concerned, who are in tune with you, and who are receptive to your feedback. All right, so thank you for for every educator out here, thank you for those of you that not only work with students day in and day out, but you also gotta work with their awesome, or sometimes crazy parents. Thank you for what you do. Look, that wraps up this lesson. Look, I'm in teacher mode. That wraps up this episode of Next Level Teaching. What I want you to do is I want you to please, if you like this, if you was feeling this, can you take 5 seconds and give me a comment? That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I'm gonna continue to provide this research to you every single week for free. Just give me a thumbs up, give me an emoji, the 100, just give me anything. A comment, short or long, let me know you're feeling this video series, and I'll see y'all next week. Hey, what's up? I hope you enjoyed today's video, and check this out. You gotta subscribe because I've got so many more videos in store for you. And when they come out, I want them to come directly to you. So click subscribe and let's keep building together.